This statement was quoted from the great Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and he made this statement during a time in which our country was experiencing some injustices, during the time which our country was going through. But if you take the same quote from Dr. Martin Luther King and place it in today's society, our nation will prove this quote to be true. However, it does not have to remain that way. Montgomery, we can start right now, and we can start a wave of positivity that will shock the world and start a movement that will help people instead of hurt people, that will encourage our youth instead of hurt our youth. There's an old African proverb that says, it takes a village to raise a child. And if we take a look at on the news, we see a lot of things happening, but we refuse to come together and take the correct approach to solve an issue that is, sadly to say, but is turning into an epidemic. Turning into an epidemic. How many more young people do we have to lose until we come together and educate one another, especially our young people? How many more young people do we have to lose before we continue to tell them the importance of education? How many young people do we have to lose and continue to see their mothers and fathers crying on TV due to lack of education, due to lack of knowledge of our history?
Yes.
How many more young people do we have to lose and we just think it's okay? We just go to sleep at night and not raise any sand about it. How many more young people do we have to lose before we start boycotting things? Before we take it back to the old days and do it like Dr. Martin Luther King used to do? How many more young people do we have to lose before we stand up and take a stand? Before we stand up and do what's right? Before we stand up and come together, whether black, white, blue, green, or yellow? How many more?
How many
do we have to lose? I encourage each and every person that is here today to get on board and to keep doing what's right, to keep standing up for what's right, and I guarantee you we will start gaining more young people instead of losing.
Yes.
So he sees every day the problems that we're facing as young people.
Good afternoon to everyone here. I know that the temperature is incredibly hot, so I'll be as brief as possible, but there are a few things that I want to leave with you this afternoon that have been on my heart for quite some time, and I'm appreciative of this organization for giving me the opportunity to share these with you. A couple of years ago, Montgomery decided to adopt the slogan, "The City of Dreams." Part of the reason for that slogan, part of the inspiration for that slogan, is drawn just a few feet down from these steps. Words taken from a man, a reverend, a young leader here in the community. Last year we celebrated the 50th anniversary of that speech, the I Have a Dream speech, just a few feet from the capital of this great nation. But what happened in Montgomery last year?
Homicides.
On the 50th anniversary of the Dr. King speech, there were over 50 homicides here in Montgomery. You see, the message that I want to leave with you today is that a dream that is not acted on remains unfulfilled. Young people, those young at heart, it's time for us to wake up.
Yes.
Until we wake up, rise up, get off our chairs and do something, the words that Dr. King spoke remain a dream. The dream remains unfulfilled. I just spoke about the violence that is happening right here in our very neighborhood, in our very community. But that's not the only issue that faces Montgomery or the state as a whole, because this message is not just for Montgomery or Montgomery County. This is for the entire state. We look at the current state of education here in Alabama. We currently rank in the bottom 10 in education. There are over 76 failing schools right here in Montgomery County. It's time that somebody wakes up. It's time that somebody stands up and says something, and more importantly, does something regarding these issues that face us on a daily basis.
Yes.
But it's not just education. You see, the core issue is voting.
Yes, it is.
It's participation in this democracy. You see, we hold this rally right here in the shadow of the Capitol. This is where the true power lies. And it's not just the individuals that hold elected office that hold the power. The people are the ones who hold true power in a democracy.
Yes.
The people of Montgomery, the people of the state of Alabama. But we've got to wake up. There were more people in the Birmingham metro area that tuned in on a
Thank you, Jerome, for that. We really appreciate it. Next, we have Ms. Shanika from Alabama State University to speak for you.
ASU.
Sorry.
A little short. Thank you for having me, Kenyatta, and thank you all for giving me this opportunity to speak my mind. Now, when I got the message to speak on justice and to speak on how we're going to educate, and better yet, how can we encourage the youth, the first thing that came to my mind is leadership. And the reason leadership came because I understood for me what it took to be the first in my family to graduate from Alabama State University with a degree. I knew what it took to be the first to practice law eventually in my family. I knew what it took to have my own car, or to have something that says that I've worked for it. And I say that to say it takes a struggle for us to sometimes realize where we have to go. And as the youth, my generation on down, I look at and I find it sad that we're decreasing at an increasing rate.
Yes.
I find it sad that we'd rather be at the clubs or the road. We got heartbroken about the roads.
Yes.
We can't get heartbroken about the lack of education our youth is having. But yet when you find young people like myself and many others behind me who want to speak on it, you get criticized.
Yes.
And you get downgraded. You get looked upon, and who is she and why are they doing this? Well, we're doing it because it's called leadership. No one's going to move if no one sees a leader moving forward. No one's going to move if they don't feel encouraged by someone within their own age group, which is why I'm a big advocate at we're not just going to speak anymore. You have to do it. You know, my mom always taught me, hey, I can't pay for you to go to school, so you know what you got to go in there and do.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And her saying that made me do something about it. You know, and I think as youth, and I think as an adults, and I think as leaders, we have now the opportunity to do something about it. It takes the smallest things sometimes. Who knew it would take literally walking would make a difference? Yeah, we call it marching, but that's what we did. We walked, and it made a difference for the years to come. It gave us as people an opportunity to better ourselves, to get an education, to stand for something, to become somebody, even if we were never told we could. And I'm not just talking about African Americans, I'm talking about people. Low-income people, youth, you know, folks who feel like there is no opportunity there. So today, I encourage all of you to find it in your heart, to see within yourself what it is that drives you to actually do something. It doesn't have to be what someone else did, but do something that you know will make a difference. If you're an artist, paint something. If you're a singer, write a song. If you're a poet, write that poem. And if you're a writer, establish that book. But whatever that gift is and that passion is, if you're a dancer, dedicate a dance to this movement. And you'll see how far the change will come. Thank you for having me. I'm Shanika Hohenkirk, and it has been a pleasure and a blessing.
When I contacted these guys, I didn't know if they were going to actually come out. They were going to make the time, but I am impressed, and I look forward to us getting together again and having more than what we have, and going to knock on the doors and going to march. So your speeches let me know that you're behind me, and I'm ready to get the job done, young people. Next, we have Miss Brianna McCullough. She's a native of Montgomery. She's a student at Faulkner Jones Law School, and she understands as a student at UAB that the fight is not at the polls or sometimes where we think they are. They're sometimes in the classrooms where African American students have to fight just to have a B, just to get a A+ that they deserve. So here's Brianna McCullough.
Hey.
Hey, Brianna.
Hey, I'm going to come speaking to you from my experience dealing with youth and their problems. Many of the issues our youth face stems from their beliefs and values, or a lack thereof, and their outlook on life and the world. A lot of youth have a sense of hopelessness. They don't know who they are, what they want in life, what they're worth, what they want in the world, and the fact that they don't care because they feel no one else cares. Well, that isn't true. Somebody does care. As a community, a city, a state, and a people, we have to let our youth know there's more to life than selling drugs, killing, and other illegal activities. Anything worth having is worth working hard for. So easy come, easy go. We have to make sure that our youth know there's more besides materialistic things. It's not all about who has the latest J's, the hottest or flyest outfits. There's plenty of people who would give anything to have their loved ones back, who are standing in line waiting for a pair of J's. Is it worth your life? No. Instead of being so worried about what you have on your back or on your feet, you should be more worried about what's in your head.
Yes.
Education is important. Education is important. Many of our youth do not take advantage of the education that they're being given. While you have the chance to learn, you should definitely take and make everything of it. Too many people say, oh, I wish I would have listened while I was in school. I wish I would have got my education. Don't be like them.
Right.
Get your education. I know I said we quite a bit, and that is because we, as adults, young people, have to show them the right way. We have to be an example for them. We have to stop focusing so much on the negative and learn to congratulate them when they do good, no matter how small or how big. We must step up and remember to encourage them, and always remember to make them strive for success. Thank you.
Yes.